You should be selecting or have selected an animal to create your Zentangle animal. I found this picture of a dog for my inspiration. And what I need to start with is I need to be adding, creating a contour line drawing, which is just the outline of my dog, so that I can get ready to create my Zentangle designs inside of it. So we're going to use our contour line drawing skills that we learned about, and we are going to create the outline of the dog. So I am going to just start with his head here and follow along. It's a nice curve shape there. And I'm going to fill my paper, so I'm going to start up here. And I'm going to create my curve of the top of his head. And then I can see that his ear comes down and out. So that's what I'm going to do on my paper as well. And I lined him up to go right off the page like he does in the image, but you don't have to do that. I could have centered him and drawn the lines that I can't see. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to see that this line kind of goes out a little. So it comes down and then it goes out a little bit before it comes down again. And up here, the part of the ear comes up and then down. And I'm going to go way down. Little bumps going along here. Doesn't have to be exact, but you're trying to draw what you see as a contour line drawing, so you can add a couple of those bumps in there. I might have exaggerated them just a little bit. I'm going to stop where I think it would have stopped here before it comes down, and this kind of straight little bit of a line there. And then it's going to come over. And then it comes down in like a U shape. And I should be bringing that U shape up right under where the top of his ear is, which it looks like I'm pretty close to that here. And then I'm going to be drawing the side of his head here. So I'm coming in, bringing that ear up a little ways. And then I'm going to come in and see the side of his head, and I'm going to go ahead and draw the side of his head here. So I'm looking at the shape there. Once I feel comfortable, I can go ahead and add that side of his head. Kind of touches his ear until it gets down to about there. And then I need to put in his nose, mouth area, so it's going to come around like that. So I'm coming out. Let's see, coming out and around. And the bottom of his mouth comes out around this way. Up in like a W almost. And I'm going to go ahead and add that actual line of his mouth. Even though in a contour line drawing you really wouldn't add that much detail, but we are going to be adding that in eventually with our project, so I'm going to add that in now. And then I'm going to come around with the bottom of the other part of his mouth, and that's going to come up this way. And then I'm coming up the side of his head, so I'm looking at the shape here. It goes out and then comes in. So I'm going to go out and then come in. And remember, you can always go back and change things. You're doing a rough contour line drawing right now. And then I'm going to do that shape of his ear, which is really running along the side of his face most of the way. And then it's coming down in a nice big U shape. So I've got that outline of his head. I want to go ahead and put in his body shape, since that's what's part of my image here. So I'm going to come down and do that line. So it starts right about under his mouth area there. So I'm going to come in and then it comes out like this. And I don't, mine's not gonna be as long as his, it's gonna stop like up here. So that's my contour line drawing of my dog. We are gonna be adding the details in. So once you have your contour line drawing, if you want to, you may start adding things that you might like to have. We're not adding like the texture of his fur or anything, but you are gonna probably wanna come in and put in the area where his eyes are gonna be, put in the nose. So I'm gonna just look at that line that I added where his mouth is, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna add that general shape of his nose. Okay, if you want to add the nostrils and all of that in there, you certainly can. And I'm going to just pay attention to where his eyes are, which they're going to be coming in about right across from here. So I'm just going to do kind of a football shape, just to know where it's at. And over here. Okay, so there's my sketch of my contour line drawing with a few details, and then I have my real image there. Okay, so that's kind of what you're going for. This is not going to be a realistic drawing, so once you have this part and you're happy with it, you're going to go ahead and separate that however you want to into different sections. So you can either do that with your pencil and then you're going to Sharpie over it, or you can do it with your Sharpie if you feel confident in doing that right away. So I'm going to just go ahead and add my sections in to where my Zentangle designs are going to be. So I'm going to just break it up however you want. It could be just a wiggly line, but it's going to be big sections. So maybe something like that. I'm just making kind of a curving line that's breaking my image up. Maybe I want to come down here and add a little bit. So that's kind of where you want to get to. Contour line drawing, very few details, break it up into sections. And then if you finish that, you'll start to Sharpie outline what you already have on your paper, black Sharpie outline.